ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Rohit Sharma is here from the Indian cricket team. Is the captain of the Indian cricket team. Please raise hand and wait for your turn. We've got a lot of people, so please be patient. Yes, Vishy sir.
Yeah, Rohit, after the last World Cup. Yeah, after the last year's World Cup, India has played 35 matches. Would you say it's been a good run to find out what all you wanted as a captain and played about 29 plays during this time? It's
29 players. Yeah, look, we obviously had a good run. We wanted to change a lot of things, and we addressed what went wrong for us in the last World Cup. And keeping everything in mind, whatever happened in the last World Cup or leading up to the last World Cup, we wanted to address all the situations, all the problems, all the issues. But we managed to get some of those right for sure. So pretty much standing in good position right now, having played 35 games, understood what we need to do as a team, what we need to do as a bowling group, batting group, and fielding group as well. Um, and yeah, I think coming into this World Cup, have I mean very well prepared as well. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we wanted to address a lot of issues, and I think we managed to do that. And now it's time to execute those ideas, those plans that we've been discussing about. Uh, what are the issues and everything we've tried to manage. See, no team will be 100% right, but we, as a team, we want to do as much things as possible right. And I think coming here into the World Cup, we feel confident that we can achieve what we want to achieve as a group.
Yes, Vishy. Sir, go ahead. Me? Yes. Okay. Rohit?
Are you happy with the inclusion of Mohammad Shami? And follow-up question is that against the warm-up game, you called him to bowl at the 20th over, and the first 19th over, he was not used. So was it a plan or just came out of the box that, we can use Mohammad Shami?
Yeah, look, speaking of Shami, I think just speaking about him first, I think the guy's got so much experience playing for so many years for India, and has played World Cups as well before. And we all know the quality that he has. So when Bumrah got injured, we always wanted to have someone experienced in the lineup, and Shami was the right choice for us. And looking at what has happened with him in the last 20, 25 days, obviously he got COVID back home, had to miss the home series that we played leading up to the World Cup. But again, with the kind of experience that he has, we know that he will not be short of match practice. And obviously, speaking of the game against Australia, that first warm-up game, that was always the plan. We know he's very good with the new ball. So we just wanted to give him a bit of challenge to come and bowl it at the death and see what he can do. And most importantly, his body, was something that we had to look at because he just recovered from COVID, and we wanted to give him enough time. And we wanted to play him in the next warm-up game full 20 overs, but unfortunately it washed off, and we didn't get a chance to play him there. But in terms of preparation, I think he's very well prepared. He's been training with the team for a while now. He came to Brisbane quite early and had few sessions with the entire team. In terms of his readiness, I think he's very much ready, and it's just about going out and now executing what Shami is known for.
Yeah, Rohit, India's often gone into these tournaments almost after a series or after a IPL, for instance. This is the first time you've had like a long 15-day period coming into the World Cup. What are the gains from these 15-day period, and how much has the preparation gone going into the tournament?
Yeah, that's something we've been talking about for a while. Like when you go on big tours, you need to prepare well, especially when you travel outside India. You need to have time in hand to prepare the way you want to prepare because it takes a time A lot of the guys are not used to playing in foreign conditions, be it Australia, South Africa, England, New Zealand, and all those countries. So it's always nice to have time in hand, and this was a conscious effort from the team management, the BCCI, that come the big tournament, we want to have time in hand to prepare ourselves. And the talk of having time in hand started right after the last World Cup. We said we know where the World Cup is happening, and we made a very conscious decision of going to Australia a little early than expected, because we were supposed to play the series against South Africa, which unfortunately we all had to miss to prepare for this big event. So that is something that was happening in the background for right after the World Cup, and we know how key the preparation is. A lot of the guys who are part of this team have not been to Australia, so that was also one of the reason we wanted to come here early, and we had a great time in Perth. We were there for 9 days, and then we came to Brisbane. We prepared. We played a couple of practice games in Perth, just to get used to the conditions, the pitches. I mean, obviously you can't travel all around Australia and play on all pitches, but we could get whatever we could get. So I thought Perth was the right time for us to start. Obviously, the time difference is not too much also, so you can easily get acclimatized to the time zone, and that was also one of the reason. And I thought the way we went about the entire Perth leg was good for us. We could specifically focus on certain things when it comes to batting, and the bowlers could work on certain things. For all this, you need time, and we were lucky enough to get those time in hand to prepare ourselves and come here in Melbourne.
Rohit, we often hear in T20 cricket about matchups. As a captain, like, how much do you believe in specific matchups, and how much do you believe about instinctive decision making? Because you have a couple of very good spinners, one left-arm spinner who has been very consistent. You have a very senior off spinner. So, is it about matchups or about instinctive decision making?
To be honest, it's a bit of both actually. You got to be instinctive as well. Sometimes you just have that feeling that this is the guy who will do the job for you. And yes, you have to look at the matchups as well. We've been going through a lot of numbers all these days about how people have been successful in Australia. Although it's a different time, not a lot of cricket has been played during this month in Australia. But it was important for us to get some kind of data around what happens in October, November in Australia, and what are the kind of people who've been successful here. So we saw a lot of things about how you need to be successful, firstly as a team, and then as an individual as well. So we went through all of it, but obviously, like I said, it's a bit of both. Sometimes you just feel that this guy is bowling pretty well. You need to just get him to play the game. He's in good form. And yeah, on the other side, you will look at the matchups as well. So it's a bit of both. And on that given day, whatever we feel is the right playing 11, we will go by that. I certainly want to keep my mind open on that when it comes to playing 11. We don't want to get stuck with one particular way of making your playing 11. We want to be open about it. And yeah, if we have to change one or two player in every game, we got to be ready for it. And that's how we prepared all our guys as well. The message was given long way before we came here that if we need to change one or two player, for the matchups, for what sort of conditions we are playing in, guys will be ready for it. So it's not a last minute thing where we are making those changing the players. This is the talk that has happened in the team long way back, and guys are ready for it.
Vivek and Shrinjo, and then we'll come back to this side again.
Rohit, all the best for tomorrow's match, first of all. And
Thank you.
with this match in particular, where there are threats of rain, you think toss becomes all the more crucial, considering the fact that the overs might get reduced, and when you're especially chasing, if you get a chance to chase, then the target keeps getting revised. So you think toss becomes all the more crucial, especially when rain threat is there?
In the hindsight, if you look at it, yes, it does become a little important. But again, I've been hearing about Melbourne weather for a while now, and it keeps changing. In the morning when I woke up, a lot of the buildings, when I opened my curtain, were in clouds, and now we suddenly see the sunshine. So you don't really know what is going to happen tomorrow. The things that are in our control, we'll try and control that, which is to have a good training session today, go back, relax ourselves, and get ready for tomorrow. As simple as that. We need to come here thinking that it's a 40-over game. We will be ready for that. And if the situation demands that it's a shorter game, we will be ready for that as well, because a lot of the guys have played such kind of games before, and they know how to manage themselves in a situation like that, where you are getting ready for a 40-over game and then suddenly it's a 20-over game for for both sides, 10 over each or 5 over each. And luckily we played one game in India against Australia, which was an 8-over game. So I think in terms of where the guys stand, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but we just certainly need to come here very well prepared and thinking that it's going to be all 40-over game.
Shrin Joy followed by Vikrant Gupta. Shrin Joy here.
Hi Rohit. India are playing the opener against Pakistan, and a few days back, BCCI secretary said that we won't be touring Pakistan for the 2023 Asia Cup. And a day later, our sports minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur, said that there are security issues with touring Pakistan. So what is your take on it, and what do you feel about touring or not touring Pakistan? Because the Champions Trophy is also supposed to be held in 2025.
My take is, let's focus on this World Cup, because this is important for us. We're not worried about what is going to happen later. There's no point thinking about it. BCCI will make the decisions on that. We are focused on how we need to be very well prepared for tomorrow's game.
Rohit, जो विवेक ने पूछा था उसका आगे hypothetical. Even though the teams would want कि 40-40 ओवर का मैच हो, आपने कहा कि टीम तैयार रहती, बट क्या वर्ल्ड कप जैसे इवेंट में अनफेयर हो जाता है 5 ओवर, 6 ओवर, 8 ओवर का गेम?
जी बिल्कुल. देखिए, अभी लोग भी आते हैं 40 ओवर का टिकट निकाल के, सोचते हैं कि 40 ओवर देखने मिलेगा, और उसके बाद अगर 5-5 ओवर का गेम हो जाता है तो थोड़ा डिसअपॉइंटमेंट बाहर से भी होता है. बट प्लेयर्स को भी आई थिंक दे वांट टू प्ले द फुल गेम. ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, इट्स नाइस बिकॉज देयर इज कम्पिटिटिवनेस व्हेन यू प्ले ऑल 40 ओवर्स. बट अगेन, जैसे मैंने बताया कि ऊपर वाले के हाथ में कि कल क्या होगा in terms of the weather, but हमें definitely अगर पूरा मैच खेलने मिले तो बेहतर होगा. But we will be, like I said, we will be very well prepared for whatever the situation is, whether it's a 5-over game, 10 ओवर का गेम. हमें उस तरीके से प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा कि कल जो भी सिचुएशन हमारे सामने आए, हमें उस चीज़ के लिए रेडी रहना ज़रूरी है.
रोहित, विमल कुमार दिस साइड. ये आप 2007 से T20 खेल रहे हैं. ये गेम जो है कल का आपके करियर का सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट गेम है इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि भाई आप कप्तानी कर रहे हैं, वही भारत पाकिस्तान का मैच, बड़ा गेम.
जी देखिए, अभी कप्तानी कर रहा हूँ तो ऑब्वियसली मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है. बट आई थिंक मेरे करियर में हमेशा ऐसे ही सोचा है, जब भी मुझे इंडिया के लिए खेलने का मौका मिलता है तो मेरे लिए वो इम्पोर्टेंट गेम है. ओकेजन चेंज होते रहते हैं. वर्ल्ड कप का फाइनल भी मैंने एक बार खेला हुआ है पाकिस्तान के साथ 2007 में. चैम्पियंस ट्रॉफी खेला हुआ है फाइनल, और फाइनल हारे भी है, जीते भी है. तो आई थिंक जहाँ तक मेरा सवाल है, मैं सोचता ऐसे हूँ कि जब भी इंडिया को खेलने का मौका मिलेगा, मेरे लिए वो बड़ा ओकेजन है. चाहे वो मैं 2007 में खेल रहा हो या 2022 में, क्योंकि इंडिया के लिए हर मैच खेलना मुझे पता है कि कितना इम्पॉर्टेंट है, और उसके साथ साथ कितनी चीज़ें आती है, और एक बड़ा ऑनर है. और ऑब्वियसली अभी मैं कप्तानी कर रहा हूँ तो एक आइसिंग ऑन द केक है मेरे लिए. बट अगेन, जब हम कल ग्राउंड पे उतरेंगे तो मेरा ध्यान ये सब चीज़ में नहीं रहेगा. मैं ये सोचूंगा कि ये मैच में हम अच्छा कैसे कर सकते हैं, जो रिजल्ट्स के लिए हम देख रहे हैं वो कैसे हमें मिलेगी, और ऑपोजिशन जो है उनको हम कैसे प्रेशर में डाल सकते हैं.
Rohit, just wanted wanted to know if you look at India's schedule in this World Cup, in some of the matches you are playing the second game on the day. So do you see that playing on a used pitch? Do you see a role of spinners in this World Cup for Indian, of course?
Yeah, it's something that we have discussed about because except the first game, which is tomorrow, we are playing on all the pitches which has been used in the previous game. So we will be keeping a close eye on what happens in that game, which luckily for us starts before us. So we will have a fair idea of what sort of pitch it is, what is the right score, and things like that. So it does make a difference, but eventually I feel you whatever the pitches are, you just got to play good cricket, get the right players in, and try and win that game. But definitely it'll help us in knowing what will be the right tactics for that particular game.
Rohit, are all the players fit and available for selection?
Yes, all 15 are available.
हाय रोहित मैं कंटिन्यू करूँगी उसी सवाल से जिसके बारे में कि आईसीसी ट्रॉफीज़ के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा बात हुई है रीसेंट पास में. सो आईसीसी ट्रॉफीज़ नहीं जीत रहा इंडिया, बायलैटरल्स जीत रहा है, बट आईसीसी ट्रॉफीज़ पे बड़ा मसला है. इज़ दैट एन एडेड प्रेशर ऑन यू?
Pressure तो नहीं बोलूँगा, but it's definitely a challenge for us to come out on top in ICC tournaments. Yes, there has been not the performance that we would like to in ICC tournaments, especially when you're playing big games. But I believe the opportunity always comes, and we have the opportunity now to come here and do well. So I think we will have to focus on certain things to get that right. And yes, it's a challenge to not win an ICC trophy for 9 years, if I'm not wrong. The last one we won was in 2013. So yeah, it's been a challenge, and with the team like us, with the team like India, obviously there is a lot of expectations, and we've certainly a little disappointed with that. But this tournament gives us that chance to change it and do well. But yeah, we certainly know that we have to play our best cricket to come and do well here. So we will probably have to take one game at a time and think about that one game, how we're going to do well in that game, and then move on from there and then think about the next one.
We will be taking last few questions now.
रोहित, बारिश भी है और ख़ास तौर पर जो भारत की बैटिंग लाइन है वो दुनिया की बेस्ट बैटिंग लाइन है और पाकिस्तान की बेस्ट बॉलिंग अटैक है. क्या कल बैटिंग और बॉलिंग की जंग देखेंगे आप, और क्या बैटिंग सुरखरू होगी या बॉलिंग?
बढ़िया क्वेश्चन है. आई थिंक ये तो कल मैच के बाद ही पता चलेगा. ऑब्वियसली हमें भी पता है कि पाकिस्तान की बॉलिंग कितनी अच्छी है और हमारी बैटिंग काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस्ड है. तो एक अच्छा सा माहौल बन जाता है जब ऐसे दो कंपेटिटर्स आमने सामने होते हैं, और हमें पता है कि पाकिस्तान की बॉलिंग हमें चैलेंज करेगी और हमारे बैट्समैन भी रेडी रहेंगे उस चैलेंज के लिए. तो एक स्पेक्टेटर्स के लिए भी बाहर जो बैठ के देख रहे हैं उनके लिए भी एक अच्छा सा माहौल बन जाता है मैच देखने के लिए, क्योंकि अच्छा मुकाबला होता है इंडिया पाकिस्तान का, हमेशा से हमने देखा है. बट अगेन मैं यही कहूँगा कि हमने कुछ चीज़ों के बारे में बात की है, हमें किस तरीके से बैटिंग करनी है, किस तरीके से बॉल डालनी है, क्योंकि मैच जीतने के लिए आपको बैटिंग तो करना ही है, बट साथ साथ में बॉल भी डालना है, उनके बैट्समैन को भी आउट करना है. तो आई थिंक हमारे लिए ये ज़रूरी होगा कि हम दोनों चीज़ें कैसे अच्छे तरीके से करें, और फील्डिंग को यहाँ पे भूलना नहीं चाहिए हमें, क्योंकि फील्डिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करने वाला है. तो आई थिंक हमें ये इन तीनों चीज़ों के बारे में ध्यान रखना बहुत ज़रूरी होगा.
Rohit, this is Preeti from Z News. आपने जिक्र किया था शुरू में कि पिछले साल जैसे हम T20 वर्ल्ड कप से आउट हुए, उसके बाद बहुत सारे इश्यूज थे जिनको आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया और काम किया. कौन सा सबसे बड़ा इशू था, सबसे बड़ा हेडेक था आपके लिए, जिस पर आज काम करके 1 साल बाद आप सेटिस्फाइड हैं?
मैं हर चीज़ के बारे में तो नहीं बता सकता, बट सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ ये था कि लड़कों को वो फ्रीडम देना बहुत ज़रूरी था, वो सिक्योरिटी देना बहुत ज़रूरी था कि आप ही हमारे लिए काम कर सकते हो, आप ही हो जो ये चैलेंज ले सकते हो. तो आई थिंक ये दो चीज़ है जो हमने फोकस की कि लड़कों को कैसे एक सिक्योरिटी दिया जाए कि वो जाकर अपना गेम खेले विदाउट वरिंग अबाउट रिजल्ट्स, विदाउट गेटिंग ड्रॉप फ्रॉम द टीम. तो कुछ कुछ चीज़ें, ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ सुनने में लगती है, बट ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ होती है, क्योंकि कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए माइंडसेट का सही जगह पर रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर आपकी माइंडसेट सही है, you can come out and perform the way you want without worrying about too many things. So in this last 1 year, I don't remember us focusing too much on results. We wanted to focus on छोटी छोटी चीज़ें, जैसे हम fearlessly कैसे खेल सकते हैं, लड़कों को एक सिक्योरिटी कैसे दिया जा सकता है. तो हमने कांस्टेंट इस चीज़ों के बारे में बात किया था हमारे ड्रेसिंग रूम में, और लड़कों से पर्सनली 1-on-1 भी बात किया था इस चीज़ के बारे में. सो लड़के जाकर अपना फ्रीली गेम खेल सकते हैं.
Rohit Shivani, this side from CNN News 18. As you're saying, the last World Cup has been a turning point of sorts. After that, a lot has changed, as you're talking about. You worked in the dressing room, you've become captain. But the last World Cup keeps getting talked about because that's the first time Pakistan beat us in a World Cup final. Now, we've lost to them in the Asia Cup as well last. So does that put extra pressure on you? And what do you think? Because this Pakistani team is not looking like the one that India can easily dominate, as it has in big ICC events in our history. So do you feel that extra pressure that this team is certainly not the team, Pakistani team of the past, not that inconsistent? And how do you take that challenge? What do you think is the biggest challenge facing this team?
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't want to use the word pressure because pressure is constant. It's not going to change ever. I would like to take this as a challenge. I want to use that word, a challenge, a little more, because it's a challenge. This Pakistani team is a very challenging team. I mean, all the Pakistani team that I've played from 2007 till 2022, they've been a good team. It's just that I believe on that particular day kind of a thing. On that particular day, if you're good enough, you'll beat any opposition. And on that day, you're good, you will take the win and you'll go home. And that is what has happened in the last so many years. Pakistan have been good in the last World Cup. They beat us. They were good in Asia Cup. We were good too. We won the first game and they won the second one. But unfortunately, we were out of the Asia Cup because the important games that we didn't win made us see out of the tournament. But yeah, I mean, look, they've been playing good cricket of late, and their brand of cricket. Luckily for us, we got to play them in Asia Cup twice. Otherwise, we don't play them at all. So it's very hard to gauge, what sort of mindset they play with. And for those two games that we played in Asia Cup, obviously there were few guys missing from their squad and from our squad as well. So it's important to understand, we got to understand what is their strength, what is their weakness. So we've tried speaking about those kind of things. And yes, in a World Cup, I don't think you can underestimate any team, as you've seen in the qualifiers as well. You just got to be coming on that particular day with very well prepared, thinking how you're going to beat that opposition, and try and keep it simple, really. Not think about so many things, because it can only add pressure or it can confuse you a little bit. So I think the more you keep things simpler, easier for you to go and get the job done. And that is what our focus has been, and constant talk about how we can just relax ourselves a little bit and not worry about, 9 years we've not won the ICC trophy and things like that. Of course, it's there in the back of players' mind, but it's important to just keep that away and focus on job at hand at the moment, because if that's my personal belief that if you think too much of the past, I think you won't be able to focus on present. It's important to focus on present.
रोहित शर्मा, सैयद हैदर फ्रॉम स्टार न्यूज़ पाकिस्तान। मेरे दो सवाल हैं। पहला तो ये है कि ये T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो इसमें अपसेट्स बहुत हो रहे हैं। वेस्ट इंडीज़ टीम जो 2 दफ़ा की चैंपियन बाहर हो गई और फिर उसके अलावा दूसरी टीमें जो जीत नहीं सकती थी वो जीत गई। कल के मैच के लिए इंडिया फेवरेट है। ज़्यादातर लोगों का ख्याल है कि इंडिया की टीम ज़्यादा अच्छी है पाकिस्तान से। तो कुछ बैक ऑफ माइंड में कुछ है, कल कुछ अपसेट हो सकता है? और
सर देखिए, मेरा ये पर्सनल मानना है, मैं ये फेवरेट्स और अंडरडॉग्स में मैं बिलीव नहीं करता हूँ, क्योंकि मैंने जैसे अभी इन्हें बताया कि उस दिन के बारे में आपको सोचना है। उस दिन अगर आप अच्छे तरीके से ग्राउंड पे नहीं पहुँचोगे, सही माइंडसेट नहीं होगा, तो चीज़ें नहीं होंगी। अगर आप सही माइंडसेट से ग्राउंड पे जा रहे हो, आपको पता है आपको क्या करना है, और जो चीज़ें हैं उसको ईजी रखोगे, तो आपको जो करना है वो करने मिलेगा। ये मेरा पर्सनल मानना है, मैं बिलीव नहीं करता हूँ। हमेशा हम जब भी वर्ल्ड कप में आते हैं तो बाहर से बातें होती है, ये फेवरेट्स है, ये अंडरडॉग्स है, ये अच्छा करेंगे, ये ख़राब करेंगे। क्वालिफायर में बेस्ट एग्जांपल था कि कौन वो जो चीज़ होती है फेवरेट्स और अंडरडॉग्स, इसमें कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है। यू हैव टू प्ले वेल ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर डे टू विन द गेम। तो मेरा भी यही मानना है कि आप कल के दिन अच्छे तरीके से ग्राउंड पे आओ, सही माइंडसेट रखो, क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है इसके बारे में सोचो, तो रिजल्ट्स विल फॉलो।
रोहित, ऑकलैंड में हमने देखा है कि विकेट कीपर के बिल्कुल 5 गज पीछे बाउंड्री लाइन है, यहाँ अलग माहौल है। तो ये बड़ी बाउंड्री लाइन वाला जो मामला है, यहाँ गलत शॉट को सिक्सर नहीं जाएगा, तो ज़्यादा भाग कर रन, तो ये सब बैटिंग, बॉलिंग, फील्डिंग, कैप्टनशिप, फील्ड प्लेसमेंट, ये सब कैसे देखते हो आप ये बड़े ग्राउंड के हिसाब से?
ये देखिए, हमने इस चीज़ के बारे में काफ़ी बात करी है टीम के साथ, लड़कों के साथ। पर्थ में भी जब हम मैच खेल रहे थे, हमने ग्राउंड का एक साइड काफ़ी बड़ा रखा था और एक साइड छोटा रखा था। तो ऐसे ग्राउंड पे आपको खेलने की आदत होनी चाहिए। दुबई में भी जब हम खेल रहे थे, एक साइड का ग्राउंड, एक साइड का बाउंड्री काफ़ी लंबा था, एक साइड छोटा था। तो हमने अभी ऐसे ग्राउंड पे काफ़ी मैचेस खेले हैं, तो हमें पता है कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे बॉल डालना चाहिए, कैसे बैटिंग करना चाहिए। आई थिंक ऐसे विकेट पे जब आप खेलते हो, टैक्टिकली आपको थोड़ा सोचना ज़रूरी हो जाता है, और हमने कांस्टेंट उस चीज़ के बारे में हमारे बैटिंग ग्रुप और बॉलिंग ग्रुप से बात की है कि कैसे बड़े साइड की बाउंड्री को आपको यूज़ करना है। बट ऑल्दो कल के मैच में आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज़ शॉर्ट बाउंड्री, लॉन्ग बाउंड्री, बीच में हम खेल रहे हैं, तो दोनों इक्वल होगा। तो ऐसे ग्राउंड पे खेलना, जैसे आपने बताया, छक्के और चौके का गेम नहीं होता है। आपको सिंगल, डबल, 3 रन के शॉट, ये सब लगाने बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो हमने उस चीज़ के बारे में भी काफ़ी फोकस किया है। लड़के लोग नेट्स में उस चीज़ के बारे में, उस चीज़ को लेकर प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं कि कैसे हम बॉल गैप में पुश करके 2 रन भागे, 3 रन भागे। तो उस चीज़ के बारे में हमने चर्चा की है, और बॉलर्स को भी बताया कि कैसे लाइन और लेंथ आपको चेंजेस करने हैं, क्योंकि इंडिया में हम खेलते हैं इतना मैचेस, इंडिया में पूरा कम्प्लीटली ऑपोजिट हो जाता है चीज़, क्योंकि छोटी बाउंड्रीज होती है। बट यहाँ पे बड़े बाउंड्रीज को कैसे यूज़ करना है, दोनों साइड, तो आपके स्लोअर बॉल्स, वेरिएशंस, ये सब गेम में आ जाते हैं। तो ये सब चीज़ के बारे में हमने बात किया है, देखो अभी क्या करते हैं लड़के। थैंक यू वेरी मच।